Good morning. It's March 1st, 2021, and I want to welcome you to Lord of Life for our daily devotion. We're glad you join us daily for these opportunities to touch base and to reflect on what God is up to among us. I'm Rob Henderson, one of the pastors here, and I've been reflecting a bit on the past year recently. We're coming up on the one-year anniversary of the stay-at-home orders, and so I look back at what we were up to as a congregation just 1 year ago, and we were up to a lot. We were excited about a large number of young families who were beginning to find their place among us in our congregation. We were excited about helping them to find their place here. We had just called together a new and invigorated building team, and were beginning to pray about where God was leading us in those endeavors. We were engaged with the community, as we have always been, and we were celebrating the energy that comes from sharing God's love in so many ways and with so many folks. We were enjoying the camaraderie of one another in worship and fellowship and in life. What I'm getting at is, just 1 year ago, there was a great deal of excitement about what 2020 held for us as a congregation. This was an important exercise for me. It was important because as the pandemic stretches into a second year, it would be easy to lose heart. But in Corinthians, we're reminded, therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we may be wasting away, inwardly we're being renewed day by day. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is but temporary, what is unseen is eternal. So do not lose heart. Let us consider what we have to celebrate today. What do we have to celebrate? A lot. Today, we celebrate you. We celebrate the connections that we've been able to make online with our online community. Whether you're newer to our congregation, our community, or whether you've reconnected with us from a distance, we are glad you're here, and we are thankful for your partnership. And today we celebrate you. Today, we celebrate technology. Technology was the furthest thing from my mind a year ago, and we've come a long way in the past year. We've gone from communicating our worship service from a cell phone to broadcasting our worship services in stereo. And while I don't completely understand the meaning of the metrics, Facebook tells us that we reached more than 12,000 people in the month of December alone, and that is something to celebrate. Today, our building bustles with activity in our school and the church as well. And the activity is all taking place within the guidance of the CDC as well as the Ohio requirements for coming together in safe ways. Our outreach is thriving. We were able to provide more than 15,000 meals to those most impacted by the virus through our valuable mission partners, the Burton Food Cupboard, Bainbridge Food for Friends, Chagrin Falls Park Community Center, the City Mission Laura's Home, and Women's Safe. 15,000 meals. That is something to celebrate. Our ministry today looks quite a bit different than it did just 1 year ago. And yet, God continues to guide us, to bless us, and to place us in those spots where God most wants us to be. And this is all a result of your grace and generosity. When the need is clear, you always, always, always come through. Thank you. Since the earliest days of our congregation, we have been blessed by God as God blessed Abraham to be a blessing in the community. This past year, no exception. God continues to bless us throughout the pandemic to be a blessing in the world. Thanks be to God. And thanks be to you as well. I want to thank you for joining us this morning for this daily devotion. I invite you to join us each morning at 11:30 for daily devotion. Wednesday at 11:30 will be our midweek Lenten services for the love of Lent. I also invite you to join us for a meet and greet Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. You'll have an opportunity to meet our candidate for associate pastor. If you'd like to be a part of that, you can contact Connie Goodman in the church office.